Hey, it's a Badass Truth Bomb Tuesday, and we couldn't figure out how to go live on Facebook today. So we're coming at you from a recording, but we are still super excited. So, as usual, I've been reading this book called Chasing Success by Dr. Alok Trivedi. If you want to pick it up and give it a read, it's an amazing book. But there's a quote in here that just it was like a knife in my chest. And I thought we should rip this one up today because it said, the price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. And I was like, oh, damn, that's painful. Because I think in general today, when we talk about the price of anything or the cost of something, our minds automatically go to a dollar amount. But the truth is that dollar amount is attached to some piece of life that we have to give away in order to obtain those dollars, right? And so really, truly, if something costs more money, that means more time investment to achieve that money, to get that thing. And so really, at the end of the day, that the price that we pay for anything is the amount of life that we exchange for it. And it just made me think about, those last couple of years in my nursing career when I was not loving what I was doing. Was I grateful because it was paying my bills? 100%. Did I desire to be a nurse for the longest time in my life? Absolutely. However, there became a time in my life in which the life I was paying in order to serve in that profession was not worth the service that I got to provide. Right. So I realized that I'm missing out on really importance of my life, parts of my life in order to serve for this. And this is costing me. And at some point, the price of life that I was paying became too high to continue paying it. And that motivated me to make a humongous change in the way that I was living my life. And as I was going through this work and discovering my personal core values, I realized that family and kids are at the very top. And that is what became the sacrifice, is the life that I would get to live with my family and kids was actually being given to a thing that I didn't love anymore. And that wasn't my highest value anymore. And I think about that, my brain went down so many rabbit holes. And I know when I kicked this topic to you guys, Shonda, you had an amazing response, and my mind hadn't gone down that rabbit hole yet. So I would love to share with you what happened in your mind when you read that quote.
Well, I guess what I was thinking about is how often we aren't awakened to what our personal, values are, our core values. And I can say for myself, I've been trying to figure those out. I think I know what they are. And then the next thing you know, I'm running around spinning my wheels, worrying about things that I'm letting, slack in my health or slack in my finances or my relationships. And, that is the time I'm trading. That is, the cost that I'm paying to not live that life that I really want, to live up to those core values. And that's where we waste the time. I mean, being crystal clear, at least maybe not even crystal clear, but clearer every day, and being awakened to what's really important, and not just doing what everybody else thinks you should do. Just like your example about being a nurse. I mean, my goodness, what a noble profession, what a wonderful thing you've done for so many people, and what good money you've made to take care of your family, and et cetera, et cetera. You could look at it like that, but if it's not fitting into your core values and you're not finding that deep satisfaction from that, you're exchanging your life for that spinning wheels, for that worrying, for that fretting, for that being frustrated. So I think that's pretty much the way it hit me, is that the awakening part of it, how we need to be awakened to what our core values are and to just keep them constantly before us. And I think that's when I look at my life and I look at my journey, man, that's when it gets muddy, is whenever I forget what's really important to me. So yeah, that's been my quest, is just to keep those before me, and that I'm awakened to what's really important. Because in doing that, I mean, we're coaches here, we want to help people do better. And when we do that, we can help coach other people to their core values. We can help coach other people to their success. And I think that's what I think misses from a lot of our lives. And that's what hit me.
Yeah, I love that. In your message, your first sentence was, wow, the time that we can spend worrying, fretting, spinning our wheels in our health and our finances is expensive. It is way too costly. And I feel like so often, again, we focus on that dollar amount and we don't focus on the minutes and the hours and the months and the years of life that we sacrifice for whatever it is, right? It's the price that we pay. Those seconds, those minutes, those hours. It's the price of anything is the amount of life that you exchange for it. And really, truly, when you think about that, going down that rabbit hole of worrying and fretting and being upset about things, like that cost is very, very expensive, because when you think about those minutes and those seconds and those hours, our lives, that's the only thing we never get back. Right. And so like money comes and goes. We have ability to make more money. We can never make ourselves more time. And so when we think about, money lost, like whatever, we'll make money back, but time lost, that's life lived that we will never get the opportunity to relive. And when you say expensive, like, oh, when you look at it from that point of view, like, whoo.
And the other thing that when you think about the areas that came to mind for me were health, finances, and relationships. How often do we talk about, do the work to get healthy, get yourself in the gym, get yourself on an eating program, meal prep, work with your coach, all the things that take work. They really do take effort. Financial things, stop spending more than you make. Stop the crazy stuff in that direction. And then when it comes to relationships, sometimes we just want to coast along and not do the work to become a better friend or a better spouse or a better parent. We want to say, it's too much work. I know I've caught myself doing that, especially here lately. I've caught myself going, just too much. But you know what? How expensive is the wasted time? Like what you read that I said, the fretting, the worrying, being frustrated with myself because I've let this go or that go, or I've spent too much, or I've ate too much, or, really, like, choose your hard.
Amen.
That's what it comes down to. Choose your hard, because it's going to be hard either way. It's the results that come with choosing this hard over that one. So
yeah. Marcy, I would love to hear what came up for you. You came off mute, so I'm guessing there's something about to come out of your mouth.
Well, I look back at my experience over life, and honestly, coaching is the first time I've ever fell in love with something I'd done. I've enjoyed jobs in the past. Like, I used to be a land surveyor, drafter. I mean, that was fun because it was art. Or I used to also be a dog groomer. That was fun, but it was hard work. But coaching is my passion. Like, that's my heart work. And it can be really hard, but I also love the fact that I get to help empower people, and when it comes to like making that whole life change, like that was the hardest thing I think I've ever done, was just making that choice, and then following up with it, like showing up every day. And showing up is hard, y'all. I don't wake up every morning. It's just an instant start button. Sometimes I had to get myself in gear. It's like, okay, we're just going to do this thing. We're just going to show up anyway. And I don't always feel like it, but it's kind of like, with choosing a career path or choosing a lifestyle or choosing to parent, choosing to be a pet owner, choosing to move, all these little things that we do, they're hard things. And we choose our hards because we look at the outcome. It's almost like with them, what's in it for me? We're looking at not just for what's on the outcome for other people, but we're definitely doing it for a selfish purpose as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm thinking that, as far as the price of anything is the amount of life you're willing to exchange for it. Well, I was willing to exchange my life. Okay, this is what's interesting. When I was in suicide mode, I was willing to exchange my life for a freedom from something. It's a cop-out, right? Now, when I look back at it, it was really a cop-out. I didn't want to do the hard work to become an overcomer because I didn't have the belief in the process. But then when I got lit, and I'm like, wait a second, there actually is an alternative. There is something better. Whether or not I believe in it right now is irrelevant because there's a little bit of hope. And then it's just like when I decided to become a coach, okay, I didn't believe I could be a good coach, but other people believed in it for me. They believed in me. And I was like, fine, I'll trust the process. And in doing so, I fell in love with it. I really did. And I found what I was put on this earth to do, help other people, you know, and in doing so, it's helped my family. It's helped my friends. It has provided a beautiful lifestyle for us. And it's just allowed me to dream bigger and keep going with that. You know, It's like, what's next? What's next? Let's keep doing the hard stuff because what's next?
Well, it just makes me think of like, you know, when we're talking about exchanging your life, right? When you are inspired to do something and you love what it is that you do every day, you don't feel like you're exchanging your life for it. You feel like it's just become part of you versus, you know, it's like that quote of like, change is hard, but nothing is harder than being stuck where you don't belong. Because when you're stuck in an old habit or a job you're not happy with, or you're not happy with your lifestyle or a relationship or whatever it is that you're like mucking through the mud of, that is when you really realize the expense of the life you're missing, right? Because there's yearning for more. It's like, I'm inspired to do something, but I'm stuck somewhere I don't belong. And so I think that, you know, that's really, really part of this whole picture is the price of anything is worth the life you're willing to exchange for it. And right now, the way my lifestyle is set up, I don't feel like I'm exchanging my life for anything. I feel like I'm just flowing in the present. Versus when I was doing something that wasn't aligned with my values, I was not inspired. I felt like I was costing my family and my kids every second, and it was torture, right? And that was expensive.
It's way more painful to keep doing something that's not in alignment with your life.
Yep.
It's way more painful. And I can speak from that experience, definitely.
Yeah. For sure. Well, Megan, I would love to hear what came up for you as like we're chatting and this quote that just like kind of blew my mind. I would love to hear your thoughts.
Well, I agree with what everyone has said so far. When I first read it earlier today, I thought about the unhealthy habit piece of it and like towards your health. Okay. So how much life you're willing, I don't know the quote, I don't have it on my phone, but
to exchange for it.
Okay. So people use food to self-medicate, and that self-medicating then creates bad, let's say veins and bad arteries and bad diabetes and all the health related because of your lifestyle. So that's what kind of got me. And I know people that have had recent health problems, and it's because they live to eat. They just live to eat, and everything's got to be good, and all the tastes have to be great, and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, you know, that's great, and I like good food. Don't get me wrong. I've been craving chocolate all freaking day. I don't know why. Okay, I'm on day 3 of 5-in-1. I should be golden. I'm craving chocolate. There it is. But I've gotten through the afternoon. However, I just think, you know, how many people have traded life because of overindulgences and you know, where they thought this is it right now. Oh, girl, I'm sending a virtual hug to Shonda.
Yeah.
Shonda, I have too.
We talk about food at work. So people are like, oh, this would be good. And I'm like, that's good. You're having ice cream with hot chocolate, chocolate sauce, but I want hot fudge, caramel, nuts, and this, that, the other. I want to make it ridiculous. And that's why I have a very unhealthy relationship with food.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you had a stick of butter to that, I would eat it. That's not healthy. That's not gonna serve me.
Yeah.
And since I've cut back on my butter intake, my labs are perfect now, which is huge. Okay.
No more
But
stick butter
that-
labs.
Right. Yeah. But it was something I had to give, I had to stop because it wasn't serving me. And so I got some life back. Okay. That's what it did for me. But there's so many people like I know that are around my age or a little older that are having health problems. And it's just like, is, 2 chocolate milks and a candy bar every morning, and then a honey bun, and then McDonald's every morning, is that worth the life you're going to give up? So I guess that's how just I think about that. And financially, then you have that part, because if you're in a hospital for a month, you have that piece of it.
And the
Then
medications.
and then the medications, follow-up doctor's appointments, cardiologist, it snowballs. So again, you changed, you gave up, at that moment, that was more important. So
That's a really good point. Like, do you invest in your health or do you invest in your disease?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just thinking about, like, after all of our conversations, there's a total flip side to this, right? Like, the cost of anything is the amount of life that you are willing to exchange for it. However, there is also a payback, right? Like, if you are willing to exchange a little bit of life on the front end and do the hard thing and invest that time to shift those habits and to focus, you actually get paid back life on the back end, right? Like, there becomes a return on investment. And Marcy, it's just like you're saying, like, life is like money, right? Like, it can come and go, but you can put it in things that are going to give you a return.
Because you're still going to live the same dash. It's just the quality of the dash is worth the price you pay. So if you put all your money into bad habits, the quality of your dash is going to be piss poor. Okay. But if you put the quality into the dash and you pay the expense into the investment, I'm using weird terms now, but if you pay the investment, your quality of life just becomes exponentially larger and larger. It's kind of like interest. You can get more and more dividend on your life account because you're willing to invest the money into the account.
That's right.
Absolutely. So the price of anything is the amount of life that you exchange for it. So as we wrap up today, I've got really 2 questions for you. Number 1, what are you investing in? What is the price that you're paying for the outcome that you're getting? And is it worth the actual life that you're exchanging for it? And number 2, are there things in your life that you want to start investing in that are actually going to pay you back in dividends and give you back more life, right? Like that 8 months in which I was building my coaching business so that it would give me options, right? I paid about 8 months of life there. Like, yes, I sacrificed even more time with my family, right? Like, I sacrificed time with my friends. I paid in life experiences to, like, put my nose down and make it happen. But on the back end, I was rewarded with so many more options to live in those values, to live in those things that are paying me back all of that life. And so I'm just curious, you guys, are you guys living the lives that you want? And if you're not, what is the price of that to your life, to your joy, to your happiness, to your family, and to your health? And are you really okay with that?
Yeah.
And if you're not, let me encourage you to start digging into that, because really, truly, your life is an investment. So what do you want the quality of that dash to be? Much love, you guys. We will look forward to seeing you again next